Hello everyone, welcome back to Creative Ends platform. Okay, today I want to make a very simple fascinator, and I will start by showing you everything that I'll need, call their names as we begin the tutorials. Okay, for a start I will need a hairband. I'll be using scissors as well, and then hot glue. It's not compulsory. Then the material that I need, and then art wire. The material I have there is a 1 yard material. Then I also need a needle and thread. So like I said, it's a very simple process. The first thing you do is to fold your art wire, form a circle with it. With the help of a tape, you'll be able to form that circle and keep it in place. You don't need to wrap it with anything because the material we are using is not a net. It's not a net. And since the material is not a net, it will not be opening the iron, the art wire, I mean. So because of that, you don't really need to wrap it or cover any part of this iron. So all you need to do is just put it on the cloth, on the fabric, and then we can just do the layman method of no measurement. You understand? If you are doing that, you ensure that your fabric will be able to meet at the middle. You understand? Your fabric will be able to meet at the middle, or better still, you can like finish folding and then you cut off the excess. I think that's the usual one that we do. But for a professional method, I will advise that you take measurement of your art wire. Just take measurement of the art wire like you see me doing now. Just this will help me to know or be able to approximate the length of material that I will be able to use to cover this fabric. So if I don't want to like just use the fabric all together and then cut off excess, I can take measurement the way you see me doing now. I'll centralize it and then make sure that the tape is touching each other with a little bit of excess, maybe like 2-3 yards at the top, and then I'll take out my tape. Then I'll check the measurement. So when I checked this measurement, the measurement was 31 inches. So it then means that I need to cut 31 by 31. Do you get me? 31 by 31. It will help me to cover every part of the iron, or better still, you can just increase it with 1 or 2 inches if you like. But with what I have measured is accurate. 31 by 31 will give you a perfect fold. It will cover it completely. 31 by 31. Okay, why do we measure? Because sometimes you want to say, why don't we just go through the easy procedure of just using the old material and cutting out? All right, so why do we measure? One, if you've ever done wrapping with net before and you squeeze together and cut off, you find out that you hardly find a smooth part after that process. And especially if you need to work with the extra part of this material, then it will become difficult for you to do that. That's just it. So I measure because I want to be able to have a good fabric that is remaining. That is, I don't want the fabric to be useless. I should be able to use it for something else. You understand? So just like I don't think that's the best. Taking the right measurement you need, for me, is the best. So after cutting it out, I will work exactly with the very measurement that I have. So just checking for the back and front of this material. And by the way, this material is a satin material. Yeah, but somehow, okay, there's this satin they call stretchy satin. There's this stretchy fabric, but it's satin. It's not as thick as bridal satin. And the reason I chose this very one is because I want to make a pattern like you see what I'm doing now. I want the lines, and when it's too strong, it will not be really flexible to create that which I want. So based on that, I chose a very flexible satin to do this work. So you can just see what I'm trying to do now is I want to get every part of the material at the middle. Now, one thing that is very important to me in this work that I'm doing is the fact that I need the lines you are seeing now as a decoration. You understand? So because of that, I'm not just going to pack it together and tie, but rather I try to pick it. I try to select it. I try to make sure that it falls in line. You see that part that is not smooth, I give way again, open it back, and then begin to fold it together. I'm very concerned about how the finishing of the line will come out. You understand? So you can see it now well arranged. Then I will twist it first before I will tie. So when you twist, the more you twist, the more the material will the shape will fold. You understand? If you don't twist at all, the shape will not fold. So if you don't want it to fold, then do not twist. But if you want it to if you want to give it a little bit of a curve, then I advise that you twist maybe 1 or 2 times. Then you use your needle and thread to do the tying. You understand? Use your needle and thread. All right. One other important thing is that this pattern I'm making can actually be added to a turban. Can just be added to a turban, and then it can simply be added to the headband. In the process of making this video, I omitted the hairband part. I was actually recording, but I never knew maybe it was on pause. I already finished the video before I noticed that, and I could not really lose again. So if you don't see that part, it's not really deliberate. It's just an unavoidable mistake. So please forgive me. All right. So I will tie now. All right. When I wrap it round like this, and by the way, you can either use the front or back of this fascinator now, depending on what you want. If you need something smooth, then you turn the back. If you need something with that fold, like I've told you before, then you use the side that I'm using right now. So please, you can see I try to tack it down. I don't really appreciate it when you just use your thread to tie the top and that is it. It does not work that way. You try to tack it down, pass the needle and thread the way you see me now, through from one side, let it come out from the other side. You understand? Take it back. And even most times after I finish tying and then cutting off the excess part, I come back to use my needle and thread to sew the whole top again. That's just moving it across it. So why? It's necessary you secure your job, you secure your work, and make sure that it will not at any time give way, as in lose. You understand now? Unexpectedly, while your client is still flexing the money, you just start having fault and all of that. To drive your customers away. One thing I want us to always put in mind in our work is for us to be able to have a work, a lasting job. I like that language, a lasting job. So this is how it will look after cutting. I told you before that the lines, You see these unique lines? That's just what I want. So that's why I took my time to kind of arrange it. And then secondly, I took my time to arrange it, and then I make sure that this is exactly what I want. The color, one other thing is, if you look at the back, you see that the thread is not showing. If you look at the back, the thread is not showing at all. It's not showing. Look at it. You can see it. The thread is not showing. So I'm supposed to attach the hairband to it, and then I'll come back and show you how to prepare the design. Okay, so first of all, the first design I am making now, I am doing it without attaching anything to the satin, and the length that I used is a square length which measured 8 inches by 8 inches. Once it's square, all sides are equal. So to be able to fold this leaf shape, because the shape I'm going to fold is like a leaf. To be able to fold the leaf shape, I'm going to be moving, I'm going to be folding one edge to the other, like I'm creating a triangle. And then after creating the first triangle, I will create another triangle. These triangles will help me to bring the rough parts together. So with that, there will be no rough part, just the way you see it now. This is just how I'll fold it. And then, so let me repeat it. I'll fold from one vertex, or is it edge now? I think this is vertex, to the other, just the way you see me roll now. I think that line there is called a line of symmetry. A line of symmetry. The line that divides a shape into two equal parts is called a line of symmetry. Alright, so after folding like this, I'll still fold that middle like that. And then you see now, the only part that is rough is the top. And that is the part that I will be folding. So which means there will be no part that is rough. So I start from the midpoint and fold it and fold it and continue with the design. Alright, so at this point, I will leave you to watch the remaining part of the video. Do have a wonderful time watching our channel. So for this second method, I simply attach facing, or should I say gum stay or facing to it. It's just to give it weight, make it thick, and then it will help the design to show better. But the folding is the same process. Is that okay?